Are you gonna do that thing where you lower your voice the whole time?
What's cracking, guys? I'm like, this pizza's amazing. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I think you're on some testosterone at that time. You actually had, I think, aspirations of competing or something.
Can confirm, not natty at that time.
I don't know what you were taking, but it must have been some off-brand stuff.
Anyway, guys, hey, welcome back to another video. Today, I am here with the one and only...
Besitos.
What the fuck was that?
That's how it sounds to me when you say bye.
So today I'm here with Omar Isuf, and I figured we would do, well, there's gonna be, first of all, there's gonna be a lot of videos to come in the next couple of months. You can expect at least 2 to 3 over the course of the next 3 months or so. With a lot of information, a lot of Q&As, a lot of sit-down chatting videos. Obviously, the response has been very positive in the previous videos, so we figure why not keep that momentum rolling and keep bringing you guys some really good content. So for today's video, we're gonna be doing another Q&A. You guys submitted a ton of questions on Instagram.
Too many.
More than what we were actually prepared for, and thank you guys for keeping it actually primarily fitness related. There are a lot of really good questions in here, so we're just gonna go into it. He will be kind of the educational person. I'll be the one just speaking from experience, because
a ton of experience.
I don't have as much knowledge as he does, but tons of experience in my back pocket. Okay.
What the fuck? Let me just say that actually over the last now, it would be 8 weeks of you training and so forth. One, you have lost a good amount of weight. Not that that should always be your goal, but that is your goal currently, right? You want to become a better version of yourself, where you felt more fit, for lack of a better term. You're less lethargic, you're more active in the gym, you felt better, you had more energy, you liked the way you looked, which is subjective, but we understand what that means for you. And so you're about 5, almost 6 pounds. We're creeping on
there.
Before the McDonald's French fries today. But you're doing great, and I actually noticed on YouTube when it comes, I think, to female fitness, and we spoke about this off camera, I'm not trying to derail this, but how there is a lack of solid fitness information. I think because kind of, you know, sex sells, there's a lot of financial motivation for individuals to simply put, not talk about fitness and information because it's not sexy, you know? Talking about your calories, talking about, you know,
the science behind a movement. Or
the technique. It's not as lucrative as saying like 3 crazy ways to grow your glutes, which will be a video we'll do.
We will be doing that,
but with
it'll
the
be science.
Instead of like, I did this and I feel it on my butt, I'm like, that's great. So the goal is to educate everyone. I don't know how much Jazz is going to include in this, but let's get into that Q&A.
I'll probably keep it all.
The whole thing. It's an hour.
Or none at all. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, first question comes from Kristen Milano, and she says, for fat loss, should you be just doing body weight or heavy weights to look more lean?
Essentially, when it comes to weight loss, you need to be in a caloric deficit. That means you have to be consuming less calories than you expend. Everyone has a BMR, basal metabolic rate. So how many calories you burn just by sitting around doing absolutely nothing. When you're active, so when you walk, when you do physical activities, so you play sports, or when you go to the gym, you're burning more calories. What is the argument to do a loaded movement versus a body weight movement? I would say that it maintains your muscle mass more effectively because you're giving your body a reason to hold on to all that muscle that hopefully over time, even if you're a beginner, you've built up. So if you're a beginner, the argument I would say is you could get newbie gains where you would lose weight at the same time as building muscle. Remember that volume and essentially progressive overload, so becoming better at a movement, is a key driver for hypertrophy. And some women might be intimidated by that, where they think, well, hypertrophy, I don't want to build muscles. Like, you're not going to turn into a mass monster. And if you want to talk about shape or looking lean, muscle mass actually gives shape. So the argument against body weight movements, they're not bad. They're not inherently bad. But how do you progress in them? You could do more repetitions. So let's say a body weight squat. Well, at a certain point, you weigh, what, 115 pounds?
Yeah, you're gonna hit your limitation.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do 30 repetitions, 40 repetitions, 50 repetitions. It's not as high of a quality or a high of a stimulus for hypertrophy.
Would that just become then, like, in order to progress with that, would it just be less rest time?
Yeah, so we can look at density of a workout when it comes to body weight movements, and they are valid to a certain extent. It also depends on how far you want to push your body. I think for most people, what I've seen on Instagram or how people have left comments, I think loaded movements should absolutely be part of your routine, and you should cycle through them. I think in addition to that, doing some sort of conditioning work, so the prowler, maybe doing a circuit, so you're doing a loaded barbell movement that's light, but you're working through several movements over a small period of time, is a good idea. But in terms of a training modality, body weight movements, I would much rather prefer every single individual to do something where you can more easily progressively overload it.
Kristen Milano also asks, does eating a bad meal after a workout erase the whole workout?
No, absolutely not. Now, I will say this. I remember when I was working at a gym and they had a smoothie bar, I guess you would call it. And if you look at the calorie content, you'll often hear a trainer say, oh, you gotta fuel the body, either pre or post workout. Really, you need to look at the big picture, the total amount of calories you're consuming in the day. And so they put too much of an emphasis on peri-workout nutrition, which to some extent within a 4 to 6 hour window before and after training is an okay idea. But what they'll do, a lot of shitty trainers, is that they'll make a client do a workout. So if you do your workout, right, the workout that you show on your channel, you're probably burning around 150 to 250 calories before the cardio. And that's okay, but how many calories are you consuming in a day? Maybe 1,700, something like that. So you're not really burning that many calories in the grand scheme of things. But what they will do, and that's the fault of the smoothie bar, you can get like whatever, the Mango Tango like health shake, whatever. It's 800 calories.
Yeah, and it's all carbs.
Yeah, so you would have this person, they get a good sweat, and then they build this positive association where they go to the gym and then they get the shake. And the shake, even if it's full of good ingredients, so mangoes, are they bad for you? Hell no, they're high in vitamin C. But everything has its place when we look at total calories. And so they'll consume 800 calories for a 200 calorie workout. You having a bad meal does not negate that workout. In fact, they're a completely different mechanism. But what you want to develop, I'd say, over time are positive habits associated with the gym. So you go to the gym, you have like your headphones on, you get your workout on, you get your groove, and maybe reward yourself with something positive. I don't know, I'm making this up, but let's say for individuals, maybe at the end of the week after one workout, if you like massages, you get a massage, or you go to a sauna, do something positive. I think the reward mechanisms should be lined up to favor you going to the gym.
Yes, I like that.
So I'll say that. Ballard336 says in all caps, best back exercises for good posture. It's like, so one.
That actually is a good question though.
One. So Jazz actually is a good example of this.
Oh.
Which is just the way that she'll sit, and that's why sometimes on occasion she'll have some of those neck problems, is she'll hunch over.
I do it all the time.
Now, this can be, it's like a chicken or the egg question. Is it a fault of the muscularity back there where you don't have enough muscles and thus you rely on what you have?
No, I've got muscles.
You have muscles. Or is it just learned habit? And I actually think it's more just learned habit.
Yes.
Over time.
Because I would sit at a computer a lot, so I just naturally hunch over.
And if you take a look at the research when it comes to, you know, personality types or how someone views themselves and how they hold themselves.
Hang on.
No, not you. Don't worry. No, don't worry.
I'm fucking confident.
Get it. Okay. That actually determines more. And so you'll see people when they slouch over their body language, and that's where they're comfortable, where they want to draw inwards.
Yeah.
I actually think, like I said before, it being a learned habit, something that you can do, and it sounds silly, but actually when we talk about rewiring just these patterns, how you hold and conduct yourself, and you want that big open chest, right, broad shoulders, and I think people just find it more attractive in general, where they'll look at, and that's why on Instagram, you'll see these people that kind of like peacocking, like these are like chest forward, like ass out, I'm like, that looks very uncomfortable.
Are you okay?
Are you fine? Try this. Have your partner, have a friend, have your family, have your mama, have your papa, put a tape just on your back in the middle of your spine and have it taut, so that means it's tight, straight across your back. And when you feel yourself slouching, it actually extends it forward, right? So you're extending the back position, so it's gonna stretch it out. You'll feel it. And so it's a good mental cue.
You can also, back like when you were a kid, you could imagine a string coming out of the top of your head and it makes you also stand straight.
Sure. But, and then also, I think the second part of this would be, yes, to take a look at your training and to make sure, not that there's a balance, but you're not negating anything. So you're making sure that you do incorporate some external rotation work, that you are training, you know, your middle, lower traps, which are often neglected. And if you're not doing the movements correctly, even if when you're doing a pull down, you can kind of shrug up, where you shrug into yourself. And so some muscles over time, if you do that, let's say over a period,
compensate.
Yeah, 1 or 2 years, this is getting jacked, this back here is getting no love and attention. It's no wonder that you'll rely into some default positions.
Yeah.
And that's why you'll see the gym bro that walks in that just looks like an absolute asshole. That kind of has like the barrel chest and like their shoulders are just internally rotated forward and they just walk like that. I'm like, fix yourself, bro.
Well, and also what happens, because of my issues with curving my back in, you also get a lot of tension in your pec minor.
You feel like you can't breathe.
Pec minor. That is also a thing. One of my ribs is actually permanently out of place and I have to see a chiro to like push it back in because it's pressing against my lungs. So Don't get like me.
Nancy says, I've lost 30 pounds so far. That's excellent.
We
Good
love
for
that
you.
for you.
100
She
pounds?
said, wait, why did I send that, Elmer? I lost 30 and I need to lose 20 more. Help.
Oh, okay. This is actually a common question, and we could talk about homeostasis, your body being comfortable where it currently is.
Yeah.
People will often experience this.
Especially when they're doing extreme weight loss.
Yeah, where what happens the first 15, 20, 30 pounds now, which is great that you did that, is relatively easy to come off. And then the remaining 20 pounds just don't seem to budge, or 10 pounds or whatever, right? One, we could talk about the metabolism, but what I want you to think about is that fat loss is a journey, and what you did at the start or the middle part of the journey is not gonna get you at the end. And actually, once again, if you take a look at the research, they took two different groups of individuals, and one group did a consistent diet over a period of 12 weeks. So they did a fat loss phase for 12 entire weeks consistently, and they lost X amount of pounds. And then another group, they had them, I think it was 2 to 4 weeks, and then they had them break for 4 weeks. So they'd have them diet for 4 weeks strong, take 4 weeks off, not binging or anything, but just on maintenance, right? So they're like 1,500 calories, weeks 1 through 4, then weeks 5 through 8, they'd be back up to like 2,200 calories. So they're chilling, they're taking a break, and then they go back on. So 4 on, 4 off, 4 on, 4 off. The concentrated 12 weeks, those individuals that did 12 weeks straight actually lost less weight. And there's
really?
quite a few reasons behind that. But what I would recommend for individuals that are a little frustrated with their weight loss journey, like you actually already lost 30 pounds, which is quite good.
Which is amazing.
I would take 4 to 6 weeks off just to let your body acclimate to that new weight.
Yeah.
Just get those positive eating habits where you're not, and I'm not saying you are, it sounds like you're fine, that you're craving food. Eat at maintenance, maintain that weight, whatever it might be, for 4 to 6 weeks, and then restart that fat loss by what? Walking. I can't stress this enough. Walking is not stressful on your body whatsoever. And interestingly enough, an hour of walking versus an hour being in the gym for most people
is more calories burned.
You almost burn more calories walking, seriously. So I would say restart your fat loss after 4 to 6 weeks. Do a hell of a lot more walking and focus on that. Try and get 10,000 steps. Take a look at how many days you're training a week. You should be training probably at least 4. 3 to 4 is what I'd say. You can move that towards 5. Maybe consider adding a conditioning day. See what cardio you're doing and maintain your calories as high as possible when you start, because that's the last thing you want to tackle. But over time, if you lost 30 pounds in 12 weeks, the remaining 20 pounds might also take 12 weeks. So the rate of fat loss will also change. So be patient.
And it's also possible, right, that during that 12 week, the reason that they kind of hit that plateau is because of the stress that you're putting on your body too. And as a female, your hormones and stuff start to get out of whack too.
100%.
So it's like you're allowing your body to reset and start again.
Often happens with individuals where a prolonged diet can even disturb their sleep, where cortisol then gets a little jacked up. And then, and so you want it to be the path, I always say this, of least resistance. Why make it hard on yourself? And I think it's anachronistic for a lot of people when they take a look at their training. The mindset of most gym goers was, I gotta be hardcore. I'm like, no, you don't.
Really?
Like, you can actually get way more results with a healthy mindset than, I hate myself, so I gotta not eat this food. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe you should deal with that first before going to the gym. I don't know.
Anna P. Becerra said, pregnancy destroyed my stomach. Imagine a raisin and a deflated balloon. Yup, how can I, and it got cut off, but I'm sure she's gonna say like, how can I get rid of this or fix this?
So skin is quite elastic, and obviously post-pregnancy, I'm assuming you're in the, did she specify or no?
No.
Okay, so it's probably in the first few months post-pregnancy. Your skin is elastic. The elasticity is a good thing for multiple reasons. When we build muscle, certain areas, you know, stretch marks, that's why too fast of a weight gain, sometimes they happen, or also it could be genetics. Weight loss, so getting back to your starting weight, what you'll tend to notice, right now you might be uncomfortable with the way it looks, but give it about 6 to 8 months and your body, if you return to what you weighed before, should return to normal. Some individuals, it is, again, genetics, how much weight you put on in the pregnancy, a lot of variables. It might look a little different, right? With the skin, you know, when people have excess skin.
Might not go entirely back to what it was.
And that's totally fine. Only you can determine if you're comfortable with that. I know there are surgical procedures. I wouldn't recommend that. But just understand that that is a natural part. Much like lifting myself, you know, I got stretch marks all in the armpits and so forth when I bulked. And I gained 70 pounds.
Dirty bulked?
In 8 months. It was a terrible idea. I listened to...
Wait, how much weight did you gain in 8 months? 80 pounds.
I thought it was a good idea.
Omar, what did you do?
I chilled with the football team and they said, gain a pound a week. And I said, well, fuck you, I'm gonna gain a pound and a half. So it's what I did. Not
a question, but just want to say I love your guys' relationship. Good vibes. Oh, Alexis.
Besitos.
Thank you, appreciate That's the end of the video, guys. Araceli.Garcia says, what are the most effective workouts for a shredded back? Love you, Jazz. Love you too. She doesn't love you. Only me.
It's fine. I like it. You want to get diced. So once again, training, building muscle mass gives shape and definition. When people say they want to get toned, really what they're talking about is they want to be relatively lean and they want to have a certain amount of muscle there so the muscle gives shape. And so a shredded back, one, you can't determine where you spot reduce fat. So if you're like, man, I got these love handles and I just want them gone, you can't target that area. At the same time, building muscle in certain areas will give it a better shape.
Yeah.
So let's talk as an example about kind of the back musculature, where some people they'll complain where they'll talk about like this area right here where it just kind of hangs, you know, where your arm's down here and it's just like there's fat there and fat back there. If you build up your lats, if you build up your rhomboids, your rear deltoids, and that whole area where your back looks more, think almost like a diamond, right, where it's a V taper, and for a woman, I guess you want that hourglass figure, so a tighter waist. You actually do want slightly broader shoulders because then from the front and from the back, it accentuates that hourglass figure. Building up some muscle there, so not being afraid of lifting heavy, especially when it comes to upper body. Can't stress this enough, you're not gonna be Ronnie Coleman.
Yes.
And then being relatively lean. So for yourself, you build up the muscle over time, and then when it comes time to lose weight, everyone's different where they'll tend to lose fat, right? Some people, again, they might hold on to it via their lower body. Some people, their midsection. Other people, their upper body. People talk about those chicken wings where, again, different individuals will hold on to fat in different areas. A total amount of weight you need to lose until that area will lean out, and only your body can determine that. But stay consistent, and what you'll notice, if you've built up over time that musculature, you will have a shredded back when you lean down.
Damn right.
What's that?
Damn right.
Be more forceful.
Damn right.
That's the take.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ali_Nancy says, what supplements do I actually need?
Oh boy.
You don't actually need any supplements at all.
Because they're supplemental. No.
Because, well, supplements are literally like, if there was a tier, it would be like nutrition, and then supplement. They're just literally supposed to supplement what you're already doing. So.
Yeah. I think in Eric Helms, his pyramid, it goes something along the lines of total calories, macronutrients, then micronutrients and meal timing. I think 3, then 4 might be something else, and then last one would actually be just supplements. Now with that being said, especially if your goal is to get as strong as possible, creatine can definitely be useful.
Really?
Yeah, creatine, absolutely.
Really a thing?
Creatine, yes, yeah. The research actually.
I know you always talk about it, but
one of the most well-researched supplements.
Okay.
Creatine monohydrate. So creatine monohydrate, caffeine, if you cycle caffeine effectively for your alertness, so how good you feel in the gym, is one of the simplest things. You'll see pre-workouts are essentially sugar water with some caffeine in them. That's all it is. So caffeine, creatine, depending if you want a vasodilator, citrulline malate, then that's getting a little bit more specific, and then beta-alanine as a buffer. But again, that's more for endurance-based exercises. I would say for most people out there, you don't need at all the BCAAs. A protein powder is only to help you hit the required amount of protein for the day. It's not like protein is vastly superior to chicken breast or egg white or anything like that. It's, again, convenience. Fat burners are stupid.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't use a fat burner at all. The only ones that I use are like pre-workout. I do take BCAAs sometimes, either for flavor or if I know I'm not going to get enough protein in. It's not bad.
No, it's not terrible.
But it's not necessary by any means.
If you're in a major caloric deficit and you weren't getting your protein requirements, I could see maybe theoretically some benefits. And actually there was something that people don't talk about when it comes to BCAAs and DOMs. But once again, I'm thinking of someone that is trying to save their money or they're trying to be thrifty.
Yeah.
Also, I just don't want people to have too high of an expectation on supplements.
That
That's
does
all.
What happened, or that is something that does what happened.
One does what to happen. What
that
does
is something
happen?
that happens is people see their favorite person, talking about a supplement, and they think that they need it when really. And I'm somebody that's posted it, and I do take them, and I do really enjoy them, but by no means does that mean that you need them in order to, get the best results possible. You can still.
I think you do a good job of being transparent. It's only when it gets into shady marketing that it's questionable.
All right, guys. So that is going to be it for this Q&A. But don't worry, there are going to be so many more videos to come, and we will likely be doing. It won't really be a part 2, but there's so many more questions that I want to make sure that we get answered for you guys. So look out in the next couple of weeks for another Q&A with this guy, Omar. Thanks so much for coming on and dropping some knowledge.
Thanks for having me. Also, if they want to see more content, they should like the damn video.
Oh, yeah, like the damn video. If you want to see more content like this, And also make sure to go check out Omar's channel. He posts a lot of knowledgeable stuff and he does it in a way that everyone can understand.
I still don't understand it.
You have no idea what you're saying.
It's all verbal diarrhea.
I will have his YouTube and his Instagram linked in the description box for you guys. And make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Peace.
No.
Besitos.
Yeah, it's besitos.
And
And then hand over the camera.
Hand.
No, you gotta actually go and...
It's a $3,000 camera.
I do not wanna give you more of my life.